Hey, you're watching Music Talk. We're here at Zürich Openair with Yann Tiersen. Hey.
Hello.
How was it to play before the rain?
Oh, it's great, you know. We were quite lucky because it was like sunny, hot on stage. Troubles to see the pedals though, because of the sun.
Yeah. Do you rather play when it's a little later in the day normally?
Oh yeah, normally we play at night, but you know, it's Sunday, so yeah, it was fine. It was a bit strange because yesterday we were at Orbital and Kraftwerk gig and we had kind of a busy night. And so yeah, I think I woke up at 12, so 2 hours and a half after I was on stage.
That's good. Good thing that you don't sing, right? You got a croissant on the stage. Well, your current album is called Skyline, and I was wondering, how do you come up with song ideas or with album ideas? Is it single songs, or is it more like a concept behind everything?
It's never concept, because I don't believe in concept album that much. For me, it's just like before starting an album, I always have kind of a blurry idea of the entire album, but it's nothing specific, you know. It's just like kind of feeling what it will be, and without thinking too much, because I think music is something really instinctive. It just sounds put together, so not just like have this mood or this idea about the album and just set up a mic and try to find some ideas and while playing, and that's it.
Do you have sometimes sounds you hear and then you say, oh, this could be the basic, and then you do something around this sound or this noise or something?
Yeah, especially in Dustline as well. Just a lot of work on textures, and for instance, there is a song Till the End, or where I used chairs on a wooden floor. And I played live and put distortion on it, and it's kind of an important part of the song. And it's strange noise, but it's good. Something, it's like by chance, like this kind of accident happened, and I really enjoy recording and try things and stuff. So, what
do you think makes, for example, I know from France that there are a lot of artists who the sound is the center of their music, and not like, for example, the song or the lyrics or anything. Let's take Emily Simon, for example, or also when you go way back, Jean-Michel Jarre was all about sound, and now he's all about lights. But what do you think makes it special about France, especially?
I don't know, I'm from Brittany, so I'm not really into French culture. But I think we have really good electronic bands, or really good... in France there is, and also good small indie bands, but I'm not really into the more mainstream, you know, like successful French artists. I think, the good ones are, of course, we have Daft Punk, Hair, M83, Phoenix, and lots of really small bands like Gablitz, really good bands, Montgomery, or Nestor is Bianca is the band of my keyboard player. But it's more small bands, and you know, I think it's a bit of a curse to be French and doing music, because there is no, not in Brittany, but in France there is not proper musical culture apart from electronic music, which is good, but it
might also be the language be a problem, because
I think the French language is really analytic and really not musical at all, and more I'm conscious about it. Like when I listen to French bands, sometimes music is really good, but the voice melody is so weird, and so sometimes it's a bit, I don't know, ugly.
When you do your stuff like you did, for example, Skyline, is there a different working process as when you get asked to do a live score? A film score?
Because I think music is not a language at all. I think I've always said, like, as a listener, you can imagine images and think about lots of stuff while listening music, but when you actually make music, it's pointless and stupid to try to think about anything. It's more instinctive, and it's just like matter of sounds and having fun, or express thing, but subconsciously with sounds. So I think it's not possible to do a soundtrack. So when I did, it was because I was asked for, and because the movie were good. Actually, I did 2 soundtracks, Goodbye Lenin and Tabali. So it's not that much. Amelie was on the soundtrack, just a collection of early songs from my 3 first albums. And I'm cheating, when I do soundtrack. I'm just focused on the length of the song, and that's it.
So you don't go, for example, let's say they give you one scene from the 1900s, and then you go back and try to figure out what were the sounds back then and stuff. No, nothing like that.
No, never, and I will never do that. And I'm not really into soundtrack anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's so stupid to do that. I don't know. It's not stupid. People do that perfectly, and I can enjoy it. But even I'm not a big soundtrack listener. So I don't know. There is something wrong with that. I think it makes sense to put music on a movie, but it's more, director choice. Mm-hmm. It's not, as a musician, all you can do what you're able to do and what you do normally, and that's it. And
so, and also another thing you do is a lot of collaborations. What makes you choose them, or do you have like a list and say the next thing I want to do?
It's chance, or meetings, friends. It's just because I work on my own most of the time and play all the instruments. So at the end, it's always good to have some other people involved in the album and not doing everything alone. Mm-hmm. So it's always like mainly it's vocals, and it's at the end of the album.
But is there, for example, now a voice you say, I would like to have her or him on my album, on my next album?
No, I don't have plans, but yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know yet. It's always that while working on an album that I have said, like for instance on Skyline there is this track, Vanishing Point, and it was like I was just at the mix with Ken Thomas, and I was a bit bored because he was, normal. He was, working on the king drum for it and making the sound, and so I was messing around with my laptop and did samples of all the tracks and wrote a track with that samples, and it was like kind of samples of all the tracks of the album. So I said, it can be good to send it to Efterklang and ask them to do the same with the lyrics and doing choirs on this song. It was just an idea.
So it's idea. It's all about
ideas.
ideas.
And it's when I work with someone and there is no pressure. It's always like, it can be good, and if it's good, we keep it. If it's not,
and is there a moment where you have pressure and you have to work?
When I start an album, it's not really pressure. It's more, I really enjoy. We tour a lot, so basically we have 2 years or 3 years touring. So obviously, when I come back home, I'm really exciting about working again and being in the studio, settle a bit, and not moving and make new songs. So it's a good rhythm. Mm-hmm. It's extreme.
You also can let go. So when you're done with the tour, you're gonna say, okay, now it's my off time.
Yeah, no, not my off time, because I like to play music, so I'm a bit bored if I have nothing to do. So it's more let's.
Or you check out the noise the chair makes on the wooden floor.
Yeah.
Great. So what can we expect? We saw you now today on stage, but will you come back to Switzerland?
I think we end the tour in October, because we've been touring for 3 years now. Mm-hmm. So after we'll work on the album all next year. I think the next one will be released in February or January 2014. So a bit of more 1 year from now.
So you have a little pressure to do stuff.
Not
now.
pressure. I got 1 year to
But
do
the timeline.
so it's great, you know.
Yeah. And do you have already ideas, or do you say no when we start and we start?
Yeah, no, I don't have ideas. I have feelings, but I don't know. We'll see.
Good. Well, we're looking forward to that then, and it was nice to have you here.
Yeah.
And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I was Yann Tiersen, and we'll be back with more. See ya. Thanks.